Hey, yous guys, welcome to You Be Aight Podcast, presented by AML Media. Love you, Mom. I'm Gene Labordi. My co-host, Stephen Labordi, working all the hard work, doing all the good stuff, is Rachel Labordi. This is You Be Aight Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Let's go have some fun.
You want to come on, man?
Oh, sorry, guys. It's been a while. Sorry, I've been doing my Sudokus. Because, as we're about to find out, I am a completely changed man.
Talk about it.
Got some things to talk about, some serious, but good things.
Yeah.
To just start from the top, I am Eugene Labordi, still kicking and fighting. This is my brother and co-host, Stephen Labordi, still kicking and fighting. And behind all the hard work, keeping me alive, basically, is my beautiful wife, Rachel Labordi, our producer, our mega doer, everythinger.
The real star.
Yes. If you haven't noticed, and if so, shame, we have not been podcasting for a while, and I will be the first. It's not jumping on a grenade because it's my own fault. It all lies on me that we have not podcasted.
But you're all right.
We are all right because this is the You Be Aight Podcast presented by AML Media. Love you, Mom. We'll just dive right into it because it is a long story. It's twisting. It's winding. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. I will answer them later, hopefully. But basically,
Start just to refresh everybody about leading up to our hiatus.
yes,
How you were feeling. We talked about it.
It's been talked about on certain podcasts. Podcasts have been paused and even delayed before the big delay. I have not been feeling good in very different ways, all sorts of parts of my body, but mostly my stomach. I have been, I would say, conservatively speaking, for 6 months, I have had constant nausea, throwing up almost most of the things I eat, if I can eat, diarrheaing, pooped my pants a couple of times, having, we're going to get real here. Just everything you can think of stomach issues I have been dealing with and not knowing what it is, therefore it being very frustrating.
Yeah, you were fucked up.
And if you look back, now take the color out of it. I have just awkward coloring to me. But if you look back at podcasts, you can definitely tell something is there. There's times where I would just stop talking mid-sentence because I might throw up if I kept speaking. Last week kind of talked about it, of me going to the doctors, and once again, thank you, Rachel, for making me going and doing these things. We thought it was the gallbladder. Now, I hold no grudges, because who knows, that could still be a factor. But I had a doctor that basically was guaranteeing that it was the gallbladder. The nausea, the throwing up, this, that, and there. In his words, this is textbook gallbladder. So we tried doing the test for them. It was bad enough where I couldn't even do one of the tests because you'd have to lay on your back flat for 2 hours straight, which I could not do without gagging and throwing up. So amidst that, we're waiting, and anyone knows when you're dealing with specialists trying to get in with, these GI doctors or whatever it may be, it's a fucking pain in the ass.
You hate doctors too.
I hate doctors, but I was doing it. I was ponying up, and if I'm going to do something, you want to get it done and out of the way. And it just, that wasn't the case. I'm sitting here not being able to eat. Literally, my big ass having malnutrition is crazy. But I couldn't get to the doctor, and it somewhat turned into a blessing in disguise.
Because that's the only way to look at it.
Yes.
For the record, it was bad enough where your hair was falling out, and you just went off the grid for 3 weeks, and I didn't even see it.
Yeah. Nobody. Rachel barely did. All I had the strength was to wake up, try and get some crackers in me, take my nausea medicine, which was starting to not work. A mouthful of water, and I was full. It was so weird. And we're describing this to doctors as I'm feeling bloated. And we're telling people that. And when you tell someone that, even Steven,
Yeah, I thought
he thought I was dodging him.
I thought he was being a bitch and didn't feel like podcasting.
Yeah, which is one of my favorite things to do. This is something I want to do for the rest of my life and possibly turn into something. And
If I were to switch roles and I was telling you like, oh, I'm bloated, man, like I'm not feeling good. I've been sleeping a lot. You'd be like, dude, you're being a bitch.
True.
And a man of your age, you would never think what was going on. Really,
what was going on? Yes. And so I learned that bloating wasn't the proper word, and we're telling families that are having these big parties and stuff, I can't go. Gene doesn't feel well. He's feeling bloated. So once we get to the end of the story, just know that I do feel rectified. It's almost like I wasn't being a pussy, and I have this big gaping evidence for it.
Rachel, the last 6 months, how was it affecting you? How sick he was? Just in general.
I mean, he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, stairs.
Like, we just lived upstairs for the last 6 months. Not 6 months. 5, 4, maybe.
It's it's been a depressing. It was depressing, and I went and hated to have to get it done. And even when I'm sitting there, I got my colonoscopy and endoscopy. And even when I'm sitting there, I have these nurses telling me, you look uncomfortable, like, it's not a surgery, but pre-op, basically, and all this stuff. I'm telling the doctor there, I feel bloated. This and that. And he goes, just brushes it off. Someone tells you you're bloated, shut up. It sounds like an old person problem. So
can't blame him.
Yeah, so I get the colonoscopy. They end up removing a lot of polyps. He was concerned for only being 31 and having like 7 or 8 polyps removed, something like that. And the hemorrhoids, which we knew about. But I had one, just to give you the complete story, I had one that was too deep. They couldn't remove it all. It's precancerous. So we do have to get that removed, but that is something that we're going to be fine with.
Right.
And we have an appointment, once again, not for another month and a half. When someone says pre-cancerous, you think, oh, cool, I'm getting my surgery done tomorrow. Nope, it's just butt cancer.
Sounds like a roll of the dice.
Yeah. And that'll come back into play. So that leads us up into, let's skip forward of just me sleeping, being miserable. Thank God I have a patient wife, because some people's wives would have left them at this point. Just sweating up all in the bed, just waking her up because I'm rolling around, sleeping 18 hours a day and night. It got to the point in a matter of 2 weeks, I described it as I felt like I went from being 2 months pregnant, because I'm fat, to 8 months pregnant. My abdominal
with twins.
Yeah, probably 9 months.
Yeah.
My abdominal blew up so big, and maybe we'll share the picture.
The pictures are
maybe
amazing.
for the Patreon.
They're shocking, but they tell the story.
They do tell this.
He was swollen up.
Yes.
Not bloated.
So I couldn't roll over in bed. It hurt. Rachel was like, you have stretch marks on your back out of nowhere that I've never seen before. I just woke up one day and couldn't reach my feet to put socks on. To get a shower, I felt like I was in my 600-pound life that first 15 minutes of showing how hard it is for these people to get ready.
You should never notice new stretch marks coming out of nowhere.
It happens so fast.
That's a fast growth.
I mean, when you're in a shower and you're completely spent by the time I'm done washing my hair, like it was to the point where I was just like, all right, armpits, balls, and butt, because I don't have the energy to get anything else done. Because this is on top of not having any energy from eating, and my back, my body's a different shape, and I think it might forever be a different shape of how much weight was being carried on my gut. Pregnant women, I feel for you. Holy shit, and it's nuts. So it got to the point where someone's looking out. I think mom was looking out. I had an appointment to see my PCP on a Wednesday. I woke up Tuesday and couldn't breathe, and I was scared. I was in a panic. Rachel's mom in the medical field talked to her doctor, and leading up to this, there was some tests, ascites,
Yep.
which is liquid in the abdomen. So it's the space in between organs.
Technically, that is bloating. It's just a different kind of bloating.
Yeah, it's extreme bloating. Luckily that doctor was there and said if he goes to the ER and it is that and it's bad enough, they will drain you. Because all I was imagining is there's these videos. It happens to cows a lot. Not, to compare myself to a cow. A lot of times they get gas, and all they'll do is just basically put like a plug in them, and you just hear gas just go.
Yeah, I've seen videos of that.
And it looks satisfying. I go, I want that. That's me, right? That's what I need. So luckily, a few things. I couldn't even wait another day, and thank God I did. I did not, because I would have went to my PCP. He would have sent me to a specialist. Then I would have had to wait to get the certain test. They put dye inside of you to see what's going around. We ended up going to the ER that Tuesday. Rachel,
which is like the last thing anybody wants to do.
Yes. And just thank God someone was there to say, like, if you go, they probably can fix you. Because once Rachel had to basically dress me head to toe. That is something I never want to have happen again. It was like I couldn't get my legs together close enough to put underwear on, like, properly.
Wow.
I'm leaning against walls to get in the truck. I couldn't have drove myself. I'm thinking back. I think my stomach would have been hitting the steering wheel in an unsafe way, unless I leaned it like all the way back.
Were you even mentally all there?
Not really, no. I mean, the fact I was sleeping so much and, like, I was dehydrated so badly. Because leading up to this, for, like, that 2-week period of me bloating, I had my colonoscopy, so you have to do the prep work where you just pee out of your butt for 48 hours.
Right.
And then I'm not eating on top of that, so it was just this whirlwind of my body not having anything that it needed. And I didn't want to do anything about it because I just didn't have the energy.
Did he seem like he was on a different planet? Or was he mentally, cognitively there?
Yeah, I mean, I think the couple weeks before, like, I was starting to just think he had, like, bad depression or something. So he wasn't all the way there because of that.
Okay.
Which there was depression there. I mean,
Yeah.
it really was. All I was trying to do was sleep until my next appointment. Sleep until someone could fix me. So we're at the hospital, and I'm still, just to go to show, I had my wife dress me, and getting out of the truck at the ER, I still have my head. If I go in there and they say, you're just bloated, go home, I would have killed myself, I think.
Yeah, well, you went on a packed night, apparently, a busy night at the hospital.
It wasn't even a night. We went at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
So you were looking at like a Texas Roadhouse, where if there was too much of a wait, you were going somewhere else.
Once I was in there and just sitting and going like, this is fucking upset. I mean, they were using this waiting room as like patient rooms. That's how packed this was. Because after talking to nurses, now that like COVID's kind of like gone, like people are going to the hospital for every little thing, which people always done. Like, so I ended up let's put it this way. There was people there sitting for 5 hours and then would leave because they still haven't even gotten to go to like the back room to get their blood pressure taken.
Right.
And I'm in this for the long haul. I was patient. Did I not do good that day?
You were really, really, really patient, and I was worried for the first 2 hours that he was gonna decide to leave. But also then you hit a point where you were getting really nice and you were talking to everybody in the lobby.
I was trying, literally, I was like trying to go somewhere else.
I was avoiding people at all costs, and you were over there like, it was nice. You were being friendly.
He had a mental break and was like, well, I'm going to suffer.
Guess we live here
at
now.
this point, I'm doing this. It felt, there was times at it that I felt, I was like, they're testing to see who actually has serious shit.
Which is wild. I mean, the ER should never be a test of will.
And it ended up taking us 15, 16 hours just to get into a bed that wasn't even like the inpatient bed. It was
the ER rooms.
ER rooms. That's how
16 hours, huh?
Yes.
Well, that's longer than I even thought. Okay.
And at this point, one of the things she's talking about is we're in there for like 5 hours. A little kid comes in, 5, 6 years old, he was in his soccer cleats, holding his arm, sprained wrist. You can tell the parents are like, what's going on? They don't realize the whirlwind. They haven't gotten the learning curve yet.
They don't know how bad it is.
Yeah, because what's happening is they're taking people back, getting their blood pressure, bringing them out into the waiting room. And then, next when they have to get a CAT scan or whatever, go take them to the CAT scan, then bring them back out in the waiting room. I wave over to the mom and I go, I've been here for 5 hours. And she goes, holy shit. And I did it because little kids sometimes just want attention. I didn't want them on this school night, them waiting 8-9 hours to find out that it's not even a sprain.
Yeah, right.
Well, I think good because it's a little kid, but I was a little pissed because she got up, went and talked to somebody, boom, right back. And so it must have been a broken
Should have kept your mouth shut.
Yeah, but that's X-ray, cast, that's whatever. I was like, you know what? Good karma.
So they finally take you into the ER and they give you your first look over. Tell us about the first look over.
So, all right. So, not to get too graphic, I'm at a point where I'm having a hard time peeing as a man. I'll put it that way.
Which involves sitting down and pushing your bird down.
Yes. But I go and get blood work done. That's the first thing. After they put the cuff on you, or, whatever. I go to get the blood work done, sit in this room, and it's the first time I'm in a chair that was for this. This is probably hitting hour 8. That I'm in a chair that's a little bit comfortable because it's getting worse and worse on my back. I literally was very close to laying flat on the ground, which I have done in public before of pain. But does the blood work? I'm talking to the lady, the nurse. She goes, it's nuts here. Don't expect anything to speed up. She goes, can you pee in a cup for me when you get a chance? At this point,
so hold on. So the first time they see you and they take you back,
they take you to the little intake room,
and you say to her what?
I can't breathe. I'm still using the word bloated.
So it's what it is.
Yeah, I was like, I'm so bloated, I can't breathe. I can't sleep on my stomach. I can't sleep anyway. My back is on fire and agony. I'm having pain through my whole torso, and it's muscular because everything is just stretched to its capabilities.
So she immediately she wants a urine sample.
No,
does she do the blood pressure test and the
blood pressure test?
Tell us, take us in there. What happened?
So first room is you get called back and they blood pressure and type down your symptoms. Okay, go back in the waiting room.
So then how many hours are you back out in the waiting room?
4.
Yeah, I think it was 3 hours before we got seen at all, 2 to 3 hours before we got seen at all, and then another 2 to 3 before they took him back
So they did the blood
again.
pressure. You gave them the symptoms, and you went back out to his waiting room for 3 hours.
Yes.
Because people need to. We want to have a visual and a schedule here, because hours tick by fast when you're talking about it, but when you're at a 10 out of 10 of discomfort, these are long
true.
hours.
Yeah, it's what I call microwave time. You're like, there's no way it hasn't been a minute.
Yeah.
And it, but
okay, so you're back in the waiting room.
Back in the waiting room, and so then 2-3 hours go by. Then I get called back, and it's funny. Like when you get called back, everybody's like
staring at you.
Yeah. Oh, let me sprinkle some comedy into this too. Not that it matters, but it does kind of matter. So it's so packed there. There's only one place. Like you're sitting next to somebody. In this waiting room. There's no gapping it out and stuff. There's a foreign dude there, like Middle Eastern-ish of some sorts, wearing Gucci flip-flops, Armani t-shirt, khaki joggers. Okay, and that's very important to this because they have those cell phone charging stations. He's just hovering over it, and it's right next to where I'm sitting. And I think I know why people aren't sitting here. I caught this dude finger deep over the pants, itch his asshole straight up, like no regards for other people. And that's with his ass to the room. He didn't try and turn around or anything. He's so indulged in his phone.
The Indian fellas do love their phone.
And I tap Rachel. I go, "Did you see that?" Because she's kind of sitting catty corner. She goes, "Yeah, I saw that." I didn't realize until he came back around there was this stain on the pants. He was digging in deep enough. She noticed the stain because I go, "He's got a stain." And she's like, "What?" I was like, "There's a stain." She goes, "I know. I saw that the first time." And at this point,
Could you smell it a little bit?
I thought I would. You're in a hospital.
I was surprised that didn't make you throw up or gag.
Well, at this point, the nausea was kind
You
of
were
going.
a little leveled out. It was just
I was
the
a
stomach.
little leveled out. Yeah, it was more just pain of things.
I've seen 1,000 people in my life itch their asshole. I've never seen a dookie stain.
Dude, yeah, and he had boxers on too.
How do you know?
Just because you could see like the thick, like the label.
Dan, that means he's basically shit his pants.
He's got.
That's what my head was going, because I'm like, why is he here? Does he have like a digestive bug? Like, should I stop breathing? Like,
yeah, and touching the cell phone fucking tower thing.
Well, listen, if he was Indian, like he grew up in India.
He's not in this. He wasn't Indian.
So he's just a dirtbag.
Yeah, he's like, I want to say like, Saudi Arabian or something like that. 'Cause
Okay.
I know Indian
Middle
dudes.
Eastern.
Yeah.
Well, nevertheless, you go to the emergency room. You're gonna see some asshole itching.
But I can't put my finger on why the hell he's here.
I thought you were gonna
He's
say I
not-
can't put my finger on my own asshole.
That's the one thing I was because I was leaning back. Thank God, I was still able to wipe perfect.
Perfect.
we might have gone to the hospital earlier if you couldn't wipe.
Oh yeah.
Talk about some hemorrhoid action. That would have got real bad.
I would have rotted from the outside in.
Okay, so Muhammad itches his asshole and gets poop on his pants.
Yes, and I'm trying to figure out he's not limping. I don't know why he's there. Which a lot of the people in the waiting room are older people with heart. There's like a heart something going on, and really all you can. And that's what I think is taking up a lot of the logistics of things, because like if you just go in there and you say my heart feels like it's out of rhythm. All they can do is give you an EKG every once in a while. So basically, they come in, they check in, give you an EKG. All right, go out, wait for an hour or 2 hours. We'll give you another EKG. So there's just a lot of people at the front of this room in wheelchairs that are like 40 and up that are just like, their heart went out of rhythm. So they're just there. They're not getting a room anytime soon unless that EKG shows something.
Okay. So let's get back to you.
Okay, so when I find you feel like you everyone does a sigh of God damn it, because there's two doors. The door on the right is you're just getting cuffed up. You're just the symptoms. Mm-hmm. Okay. Door on the left is okay. I might be getting a room here.
Someone's gonna pay attention to you.
So there's people thinking like, if I stand closer, the Indian guys won. Like, and they're trying to wave down, hey, I've been here for a while. It's like, that's not how it works. And I've seen it on the charts and stuff, red, orange, and yellow, depending on how bad you are.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I get called back, blood work, talking to the lady, finally got a little relief on my back. Even at this point, I was about to get ready to, and I never do, about to ask for pain meds. My back was hurting so bad. I was in almost in tears at this point. She goes,
at this point in your head, do you think there's any chance that they're going to tell you there's nothing we can do?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
And I'm so dehydrated. I'm like, I don't know if I can pee. I really don't think I have anything, but I'll give it the old college go. I go, and the way it happens, end up kind of peeing everywhere, but I got him a sample.
Okay.
Now, that sample, I'm sure they test, but I also think, I don't know what they test for. I'm sure it's a variety of things, but I think in there, do they do a drug analysis ever?
They can't do a drug analysis unless they tell you.
Okay.
It's looking for infections.
Yeah, there's
just vitamins that are off, like levels
Warren can
of
give
stuff.
you a lot of information.
Well, my pee was darker than this. It was nuts.
You should have got a picture, Rachel.
I have a picture of the one in the
It was
room.
crazy.
We'll put that up. That's later on. So get that, get the blood work, and they take a bunch of stuff. Go back, I'm thinking, all right, cool. And she goes, all right, at this point I'm in a wheelchair because I get out of breath. I get out of breath walking like 12 steps. So I'm in a fucking wheelchair. They push me back out into the waiting room, and I go, damn it, I'm back. Thought I escaped. Now we wait another.
Hold on. You're so uptight and self-conscious. How were you feeling about being in the wheelchair?
I wasn't excited about it.
Was it the wide wheelchair?
Yes.
Yeah. I can imagine that.
But the thing, it's on
just
top
leave me
of
in the
it,
hallway. Don't take me back out there.
At this point, I'm hearing whispers of, there's people there waiting with their daughters and stuff of going like, there's not enough rooms upstairs that they're putting people in the hallway. And if they put you in the hallway, like on a gurney, you can't have a visitor with you. So then you're just in a hallway by yourself. Like Rachel would have just had to like wait outside or something. So all this is going through my head. The wheelchair is the most uncomfortable. It's a torture device. It's too low in the back and too high up here, digging in the side of the knees. It needs a lot of WD-40.
Were you walking yourself around without using the handles? Were you just...
No, I just stayed put.
Okay.
And standing up and moving around a little bit.
He was using me as a chair.
Yeah, I had to have her go behind me and like use her as support, like literally. Because
what kind of wheelchair was this?
The fucking
no back on it.
Like the back was so low, the back came like not even halfway up the back, so it's making it worse. It's making my posture worse.
In my mind, your legs are dangling too, which is way funnier.
Oh, it's digging in the sides. The fucking metal. This thing was not. This is one of the first designed wheelchairs of the new age, but. So I'm using Rachel. At this point, I don't give a fuck. Like, if people say, look, Fatty needs someone to hold him up, like, at this point, I'm in a pain enough, and I'm like, I made it this far. I'm not giving up.
Plus, you had an experience where you could barely pee into a cup.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, like, I'm fucked up.
And this is something I want to write letters to Congress about or something, medical boards. This is all for the next 36 hours I deal with this. Well, even longer than that. I'm telling every nurse I haven't eaten or drank any liquid in like 36 hours up to this point. I'm so dehydrated, like I'm shaking, I'm weak. And every nurse, they go, well, we don't know. Like if you have to have a procedure, you can't have anything.
Initially, it was us being...
cautious
because we wanted to be able to have you take whatever testing you wanted to.
Which was smart.
So the day before we went, he wasn't feeling good, didn't eat or drink. Then we went, we were being cautious. And then he was like, I need something to drink, and then wasn't able to because the nurses were saying.
It's almost as if because you were in the hospital setting and we're accepting that you're there and need help, then suddenly you're like, wow, my body, like you suddenly admit to yourself, I'm really in a bad way. I need a drink.
8 hours into it, I should have came last week.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't know you're at the hospital either, so I think you're just taking a nap. But anyway, that's fine. You guys had some stuff going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you give them the peak.
And when you're that thirsty, let me just say something. When you're that thirsty, all you can think about is that.
Oh,
like,
course, yeah.
I'm trying to close my eyes, and I'm grabbing things thinking it's a cup of water.
Okay.
And Rachel got a bag of fucking... I was like, if we do get back there, it's getting late, and I can eat, I'm going to need a snack, so... I have X-ray vision of I know there's a bag of chips in Rachel's fucking thing, but regardless,
it's contraband.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
No, I was asking where we're at on time.
We're at 30 minutes.
Okay.
We can walk through this story, and maybe that'll be the episode.
Yeah. It's okay if it's longer. We haven't gotten them content, but okay. So let's fast forward to this is now a 4-hour gap. I'd say maybe even longer because that's where my back was getting crazy.
And you still have no idea what's going on?
Not a clue.
Okay.
They go and they put me into what they have just a piece of paper labeled as
Hallway 3.
Hallway 3.
This was, I believe, 10 to 12 hours in.
Jesus.
Okay. And this is a room where it looks like they just like families meet to talk to a doctor for
the conference rooms.
Yeah, but not even. There's no desk. It's just like 4 chairs.
It's like a carpeted room, like a
where like they tell you bad news,
like a bereavement room.
Yes,
good word.
But it's all the way in the back. The only people I'm seeing walk past this door are security guards getting their lunch.
You described it later as putting baby in a closet.
Baby in the corner. I was out of sight, out of mind. But then the doctor comes in an hour later after I'm in this room, because all I'm staring at is the clock. He goes, and this is where I get a little justification. It's crazy. It's made me feel good. He goes, "There's something wrong. We don't know what it is." And then I think we brought up, what about getting drained? Did we say that to him? Mm-hmm. He said that's going to be something, but we got to figure out why and what before we just drain.
Yeah, because your body cavity doesn't fill up with fluid just randomly like that. That's just
fast.
And at that point, we already had seen a CT scan.
Okay, so you had
from not in the hospital, from
the ER.
Oh yeah, from the ER.
That was the first thing they did after.
That's right. I forgot about
See, that's what I mean. You were like probably not even
I was staring, and I was from the pain. I was trying to like literally like shut down. Like I probably was just staring through people at some points.
And just waiting for that long, you have to like turn your brain off to be able to not.
Plus, it turned out you were dying.
And this is where I start to snap. My back hurts so bad. There's some tears, and it was out of frustration. I think I deal with pain pretty well. This is like one of the first times ever in my life I asked the doctor, "Can I get pain medicine for my back? I don't know how long I can last like this." And he goes, "Yeah, we're going to get you something to make you comfortable."
He was super nice too. He's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. And so at that point I go,
that's probably part of his training. Just say yes and then delay it.
So then we're in that room for another almost 2 hours. And that's when I'm sending Rachel. I'm like, go fucking make noise.
It's like 1 a.m. at that point.
I'm like kind of yelling. I'm literally going, I don't know if I can take this.
So he was starting to bug.
I was breaking down. I was like,
you thought they had forgot about you.
I thought they were, just trying to make me wait it out still. I still think they're like, I'm like,
I thought you were testing
I think
you.
I thought they were testing.
They were
me.
like, let's see if he is gonna go through like opiate withdrawal.
And they
that's
all,
in your head. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah. And I'm going, all they have to do is give me a fucking pill and a paper cup, or I had an IV, and that's always one of the first things because they did the blood withdrawal, and I go, that's gonna take someone 3 seconds. They forgot about me, and that's when I'm literally crying because I was like, this is it. I walked all the way to the end to find out here's the end of the road,
You're like crying now.
It was frustrating. It hurt, man. Like,
what do you mean? Here's the end of the road. What do you mean by that?
I didn't know what to do. I was like in so much pain. I was like, they're not taking care of me.
Okay, so baby was in the corner and they were purposefully neglecting you in your head.
And I go like, even at this point, I'm like, if I get in a bed now, it's fucking getting close to one. Like, I'm not gonna. They don't just do discharges in the middle of the night and shit.
Well, they already told you that you were going to the hospital at that point.
Yes, he goes, we're gonna admit you.
Okay,
but I'm like, they don't do discharges. Where are they gonna admit me? Am I spending my night in this room?
in a chair.
In a chair, the worst chair in the world.
Wheelchair.
And poor Rachel, like, she doesn't smoke or anything, so she couldn't like go take a break and come back.
I wouldn't have let her.
You're a baby. You're such a bitch. But anyway,
I was letting her eat snacks. I was telling her
everybody has to suffer if I don't feel good.
Nah. Finally, after 2.5 hours of me freaking out in this room, they get me into a bed, and it was the bed. The bed sucked ass, but to lay on my side for a little bit, I was like, this made it worth it. And then they came in, and the lady that transported me was a bitch.
She was really rough too with your chair.
So when she's porting me from baby corner room to where I'm about to spend the night in the ER room, she goes yelling over to one of the other nurses, "Hey, did we call the DOA?" Which, or some acronym, and I was like, yeah, it's got D in there or something. Because she says, because Mr. Wah got another bag. Meaning someone's been bitching for pain medicine or something and got it. And she's yelling this. And she's just a transporter person. She's not a nurse.
Yeah, she's basically part of like the...
Yeah. She doesn't have a degree in it. She pushes wheelchairs not nicely. And basically pulls me in and might as well wheelbarrowed me into there. And I
For the record, you weren't Mr. Wow, right? Somebody else was Mr.
Wow. No, but I'm sitting there going, wow, all right, well... Because then I tell her, hey, my doctor said he was going to get me something for pain. She goes, he's left for the day.
Yeah, she was kind of mean. She's like, he's gone.
She
like,
hears
this
that
is
question so much and all that. Dude, I guarantee you she hears that question 40 times a day.
I'm sure. But I go, he said it. And
you would be, I promise you did her job. Every time you heard somebody mention pain medicine, you'd be like, Mr. Wow over here needs another.
Especially too, like, oh, well, that guy said I was going to be able to get it.
She also could go, I'm not permitted to do that. I'm a fucking nobody who pushes wheelchairs.
Yeah,
she's not an RN.
Nice.
She's clanking my feet through the doorways and shit.
To the people out there who work in hospitals that aren't RNs, it's not a bad thing.
No,
He's just upset.
It was this particular lady's attitude.
I am very, because I've seen shitty patients, I am very over the top. My nurse has always loved me. Like, I'm very...
Well, and not even her attitude, but I was going to complain even just the fact that she bumped him into quite a lot of things, like when she was pushing him around.
Yeah, she was...
Like, if he had a hurt knee or something,
Some people are nasty, and they seem... Like, there's, people who kill people as nurses. Like, there's a sector of people who are nasty narcissists who work in hospitals and like to make people uncomfortable, call them Mr. Wah.
Loud as shit too. This wasn't from the whole thing. She was doing it so that guy could hear. Anywho, get in there. They come in. This nurse is nice, and I go, please, like, I need something for my back. What's your pain? I go, my lower back is at an 8 or a 9, and my sides are at a 7. I was like, just my sides alone. I need something.
Isn't it weird how when you're in a hospital suddenly the pain feels way worse?
It's and it's like it's all building up to this point where I'm just like, someone give me. So she comes in with a pill. I think it was a hydrocodone 5. Take that. It got to the point where it got the tears to go away, but I think like. How much longer until I was like, this is barely scratching the surface.
I mean, would have been time for the next dose. They won't give you
Yeah.
double.
Yeah,
So
they're not
6
just gonna
hours later.
Yeah.
Then they gave me. Did they give me the liquid next?
Yeah, they gave you
Yeah,
morphine.
they gave me the Dilaudid or whatever,
Yeah.
which that did it. Made the pain go to like a 3, 4, and I could shut my eyes and do a half sleep. Even in the ER where everything is just, if it's not your room gotten buzzards.
Plus, you're exhausted from waiting all that time.
Mm-hmm. And Rachel's sitting there with me she's on her uncomfortable little thing, but she
did
stayed
you get
with
any
me.
pain medicine?
Nah, but she ran, and at this point, you went and let the dogs out, I think.
He
No,
went to let the dogs out like 12 hours before this.
Yeah, I had no idea you were
yeah.
in the ER at all until after you were out of the ER.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's all I was.
He knew when we were in the temporary room. When we were just waiting in the waiting room, he didn't
Yeah,
know.
see, yeah, I guess So,
I'm still thinking you're a bitch.
all right, so we're there. We're getting things moving and grooving a little bit. I forget what happens then. I mean, just watching
We just
TV.
waited in that room.
You
for-
went and got some stuff.
at 4 a.m., like way before you even got
So
the
you finally
Dilaudid.
got some pain med. You're in the ER bed still. You have no idea what's going on.
No idea what's going on. Still at the point where like I have my gut is so big. There's no pain, but I can't move and find comfort. I'm doing like weird angles.
You wasn't sleeping.
He was sleeping with the a little bit, because then when I started trying to sleep, you got real chatty.
Yeah, I think I might have been feeling good.
Yeah, you started feeling
But
good.
then also I started like playing with bringing my knees up, twisting this way, or whatever.
And then like 8, 9 a.m., we just were kind of relaxing until 8 or 9 a.m., and then the doctors started coming.
So once
okay,
you got medicated, they weren't like in a hurry to do the next thing.
No,
Nobody's
it
there.
was a middle ground room too.
Oh yeah, you're not even in the care unit yet.
That and doctors, there's like an emergency doctor at the night, but they're not like doing anything for someone in my position. Like,
Well,
why? That's
he
an
wasn't
emergency, bro.
They weren't considering him at that point in crisis mode.
Yeah,
like middle of the night surgery
It wasn't a
crisis
gunshot.
mode. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Because
He was stable.
okay.
So
When do you?
I'm in a cloud. 7 o'clock rolls around, and the general doctor, who just happens to be associated with my PCP, comes in and talks to me a couple of sentences, and I can feel him he's got good bedside manner. I can kind of feel him building up, kind of puts his hand on my arm, and he goes, I think you have liver failure.
And how does that hit?
I'm almost crying right now.
Heavy.
You don't know what to do. Like, how do you deliver that message and then just stare up into the sky and go like, I already know you can't fix that. And I was like, well, and he's like, we're not sure. We still have a lot of testings to do. But immediately your brain goes, I have liver failure.
Was there any point where you were like, I'm gonna die tonight?
Yeah, not tonight, but in my head I go like, one, I'm severely overweight, so that already like they won't put you on an organ donor list, or they will, but super low just because of your weight.
Plus, you don't even you don't want to be on the
organ donor
list.
Yeah. And
you don't want to.
Is it him trying to scare me, basically saying like, you'll never snooze? So update: I could never drink alcohol again.
Yeah, liver failure.
Yeah, the worst thing you can do to your liver.
Yeah. But there's severe damage done to it, and for a 31-year-old, it's weird. It's not just from alcohol. There has to be, and that's where we're at now. After getting out of the hospital, I'm gonna have a lot of a doctor's appointment trying to figure out why.
Yeah, because it's unheard of. That's unheard of.
By the end of getting out of the hospital, it's looking. it's brighter. Okay, so I'm not going to be croaking anytime soon. Silver lining, we're getting healthier. Anyway, so that happens. So then you're just in a fog of, what the fuck do I do? You shut everything off.
You have to just kind of process that.
Yeah, and just try not to cry in front of everybody. He leaves, and then he says, we're going to get you the GI team waiting in that room. And then I'm glad it happened this way. They go, all right, we're gonna go get your CAT scan, and I go, okay. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go get a scan, come right back.
So at this point, where they say we're gonna take you for a CAT scan, are you petrified about what it might show?
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're necessarily looking for until I kind of get back there. Because remember, the hospital's like, there's so many moving pieces. The person transporting me doesn't know, but they just know point A to point B.
Yeah, right.
My nurses don't know. They just know you got prescribed a CAT scan. And when I go back, they put you in basically a little holding spot till the CAT scan opens up. I got an awesome 10-minute sleep because it was a silent, cold hallway.
It's the first silence you had.
And I had my blanket.
You still didn't have a room yet.
Still don't have a room yet. A super bubbly girl comes out, a nurse. She goes, hi, whatever, I'm Krista, whatever. We're going to be doing your, what do they call it? Paracentesis, which we're going to be doing your draining. And
okay.
So I got excited that I'm thinking there's going to be 5 steps before I get this draining. Basically, they just put a dye in you to see where the liquid is. Best way to get it out, they get it out. But before then, sprinkle some comedy in there. It's think of like a 2-port garage. I'm buckled in. A lady comes in after me. I don't see anything. From features, I can just tell she's white and older. I hear her go, I don't want to be next to him. And I know for a fact it was me. Now, this lady was cuckoo because she has 4 nurses around her and a doctor, all female, and then a whatever procedure she's getting, a technician that was a male. Young, clean cut, probably late 20s male walks up, goes...
So could you see each other at that point when she said that?
No, because the curtain's halfway pulled, and she has 20 blankets on her. And all I can see is she has a walking boot on. The air cast kind of boot. Something, was this bitch in here for an x-ray and being crazy? Regardless, she kind of whispers over to the person, and the guy, the technician, goes, oh, no, it's okay, I understand. She must have been touched in her life or something. She does not like men. Or she didn't want any men around.
Were you thinking it was because you were fat?
Of course.
That gets sprinkled in there.
And it's funny, too, because at least he wasn't I know, we'll try to get someone else.
At this point,
he had your back.
At this point, I don't care. She could have scrolled and said, I don't want this fat piece of shit next to me. I would have said, hun, I'm next in line for the CAT scan. You can kick rocks. So, go in. They lay down, and they can tell I'm nervous. Remember, I just got news.
Yeah, you're shook.
Yeah, and they think it's because I'm so afraid of this procedure. It's 4 women, all very being overly nice, wanting to talk. What are you scared of, this and that? I'm like, I just want to get it over. How long does it take? And they're like, it's quick. It's pretty painless. They lay on, I'm on my back. I don't have to transfer beds. That's how easy. I'm still in the same bed they're rolling me around in. Do the dye in you, and they go, okay.
Would you drink the dye?
No, they put it in your IV.
Okay.
They go, they're looking at their monitor. They go, okay, this is it. They mark it. The doctor walks in. I sign a piece of paper. They numb you outside, and then they take a needle to numb you inside, and then they take a big gauge needle.
Like a turkey baster?
Not that, but I didn't look, but I could feel the pressure of it. Is this thing definitely? Basically, they said, "Hey, we have a 10 or a 12." They had 2 sizes, and she goes, "Give me the bigger one." Which I'm like, "Yeah, get this fucking shit out of me." So because this is the first time ever getting a draining, you can only get 5. They say 5 liters. All right, now we're Americans, and I've learned this by telling a couple people. 2 liters is the 2-liter bottle of soda. Okay, so they're technically only allowed to take 2.5,
which is a lot.
Yeah, and I go,
crazy.
Damn, that's a lot. That's a lot of liquid. All right, and at that point, I'm like, oh, we'll be fine. Start the draining, and you basically lay there while it drips out. Took about 20 to 30 minutes. Of course, my fucking tailbone catches on fire at this point, but I'm like...
Can you feel any relief as it's draining?
Not right away.
Okay.
Because you're standing as still as possible.
Okay.
But we get to 5 liters, and they're like, this thing's still going hard. So they pause it, call upstairs, and they go, okay, you can take 1 more liter out. So I got 6 liters, which is 3 bottles of Pepsi taken out of me.
That's a gallon and a half, dog.
It weighed about, I think, like 15, 16 pounds, I believe. It was the color, it was gold.
It would look like pus.
Not so much. But it isn't. They do put it in big glass jars. You could hear them clanking. It looked like they had 640s. That's what it looked like.
Golden honey brown.
That's what it looked like. It looked like 6 bottles of Old English.
And really, it was basically pee.
Backed up toxins from your liver.
It's everything that
basically.
the liver couldn't take care of. So if you can have lesions on your liver, or it can just be overworked and it just seeps out. But something's there that had happened within very quickly.
The crazy thing is, because you're heavy, you were able to fit 16 pounds. Because like a normal person, there's no way you could be that full of liquid.
Yeah.
Right?
And they said there's still definitely there could be 1, 2, or 3 liters still in me.
Which we're going to try to get taken out.
We're going to tomorrow go to doctor trying. So we get that. I'm relieved because I get back in the thing. Rachel doesn't know I got drained yet because she wanted to watch.
I would have too.
But I go back in and I'm like, they drained me. And
I knew they were draining you, but I
you?
didn't see you. I knew they were taking you for the procedure.
Oh, so I thought I was just getting the scan. So it was a surprise until they were like, we're doing, regardless. I go back in and I'm like starting to move around and I'm realizing, holy shit, my stomach is looser. It was crazy how hard my gut was. It was so like crazy. And it was like making my undergut a different material of skin. But I'm moving around. I literally for like 3 hours can feel shit going back to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And when Rachel sent me the before and after picture, when I saw, I think it was the next day I saw it.
You can put the picture
I
up.
was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's impossible to describe.
And like literally the first, I'm not, there's no tricks in that picture. It's
jarring.
Yeah.
So
I'm standing up. I'm going I'm like, look, dude, I'm just getting my calves again and shit. I'm reaching all over.
You didn't realize how immobile you were until you got drained. And you were like, wow.
And the mobility kept coming and for like 2 days. I was like, up, more moved. And then at this point, then they're like, we got you a bed. So it takes like 3 hours. They finally get you upstairs. So which brings to the next comical point of the fucking, when they finally moved me upstairs, I'm like, I'm getting my own bed. And I was supposed to get one earlier. I find out a little bit later. I'm like, I knew someone stole my bed. I needed a geriatrics bed because of my weight.
Which was awesome. Your room was like
an awesome room, which all the rooms in there are nice. But yeah, first thing he says to me, and I didn't know that they can't just test you for drugs, go, can you pee in a cup for me? And I'm like, what the fuck? I got a parole officer up here? And I go, dude, and this is the umpteenth time. Before, the thing that was pissing me off that I didn't get to finish earlier talking about it is, the second I go, I haven't had an ounce to drink in 30, they shut off and they go, I got to ask if you can have water. And I was like, trying to just tell them, I was like, dude, I don't know if I have anything in me to give you. Well, go into the bathroom and over the toilet is a piece of like paper. And I think this is so you can't fuck with this drug test how they do, like if you're going for like a work drug test. I'm thinking this is
You're so paranoid.
Yeah, you're paranoid. I really don't think, because they already had your urine. They already
tested everything in your body.
I know, but I'm on a new floor.
Well, hold on, time out. No, they never even took that urine sample, so obviously they weren't monitoring.
Remember, they suck stuff out of the top.
Yeah, it turns out they just use a syringe and stuff, but then they just left it there.
Well, I don't know, man. You weren't on parole. I don't think they were testing for. But anyway,
this is what I'm thinking. Just because I'm like, why is there paper over there? You know what I mean? The way he's like, why don't you just try for me? And I was like, all right. Well, I even though I have liquids moving, I'm still getting used to kind of peeing like a man. Let's put it that way. I piss all over. A little bit comes out, and then that paper's there. I'm trying to angle. It's slipping. I don't know what to do with the cup. I ended up pissing all over that corner of that bathroom, too. And we'll put that picture up. I can't believe that this was inside my bladder and wasn't killing me.
Yeah, it looked more like blood than pee.
It was coagulated at the top. It was insane. It goes to show dehydration is fucking no joke. But they bring in, I'm on a liquid diet, and that's all I want. And on top of it, this hospital has the best crushed ice in the world. I can't wait to get my hands on a big pitcher of crushed ice and water. The first thing I get is there is a fucking grape juice. And I go to take a sip, and Rachel goes, what happens if they have to do blood work right now? And I was like, so I had to fucking put that grape juice down and wait for this guy to come in here to tell him that I peed, that I pissed all over there. I'm thinking he'll call someone to clean it up. He does not.
Yeah, I had to call the maid.
Yeah.
Housekeeping.
Hospitals are expensive. I'm not cleaning that up. So they pay people, you know. Anyway, he's not certain. He has to get these cultures done. I'm all bruised up. He wasn't the most confident with drawing blood, and he has to do it twice out of 2 different areas. It took him about 5-6 tries, but I stuck with it. Ended up earning, like, we were buddy after this. Drank the best taste. That was the best tasting grape juice in the fucking world. And then slugged ginger ales and ice water like it was going out of style. Then after we get situated, I'm in finally this comfortable bed. It's a godsend. Oh my God, I'm fucking playing with pillows like I've never seen them before. Yeah. But then I go, dude, I want to rinse off. And he was kind of like, I guess it was weird timing, but I was like, dude, I've just been laying around for like 15 hours and gross. I just really want to get my pits
24 hours by then.
Yeah. And I just want to change my underwear and shit. And I go, dude, can I rinse off? He goes, yeah, wait, I got to get your thing covered up. Before I go to rinse off, I might as well try and take a poop, which I don't have anything in me. Well, I sit down, and because everything is moving around, my intestines expand, and I let out the second to third biggest fart of my whole life. Enough where when I get out of this shower, the nurse comes in. He was out in the hallway, keep in mind. He goes, how's your, when was your last bowel movement? I was like, kind of just then. It was really just gas. And he's with his, like, a nurse assistant, and they both go, yeah, we know.
Yeah, we heard that.
Which at this point, it's, it was funny because we're feeling better. At that point, it really wasn't that eventful, just having, for the next 4 days, doctors come in. I get a lot of blood work done. They were able to give me some stuff for my back to help to sleep as best you can in a hospital. Really just was loving drinking liquids. Then I finally got to eat a semi-solid cream of something soup that was... It probably was the worst cream of soup, but
Yeah, it don't matter.
When I actually get an appetite back and eat it, that fucking cream of potato, I could have eaten a gallon of it.
Well, you lived. You're lucky.
I lived, and we're learning. We're still learning. They don't know what's all the way going on.
When I finally found out what happened, I was shook. I couldn't believe that some of your age had your liver stop working.
Yeah, I texted Steven the first full day there, and I was like, I think Gene would really like it if you came. And he's like, nah, I'll come tomorrow.
Yeah, I was like...
I didn't know how serious it was.
Yeah, that Wednesday I go, wow, I'm in the hospital. He knows I'm going to be here for...
I didn't know any of that.
Maybe we didn't know you were going to be for a few days. But I was in the hospital, and you just... Well, I'll catch you tomorrow. And I was like, damn, cold-blooded. That's when I knew that I was like, he doesn't believe that I've been...
There was no details at all. I didn't
know.
know.
At that point, I was like, I think for the last month or so, he thinks I just don't want to podcast or hang out with him.
I told you that.
That was one of the first things you said when you came in. You were like, I didn't realize it was this bad. I was like, I guess I never said I told, I can't say I told you so because I didn't, no one knew.
Yeah, I was in shock. I'm still in a little bit of shock, but I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I said when I got there next day, I was like, I feel like I should have been here. I said I had no idea.
I would have been thinking the same thing too, kind of.
And I also could have never imagined that something like that happened. Like I thought you were bloated. That's what I thought.
That's the funny thing too. Like I'm learning to tell people, explain what a liter is, because they're just like, oh, you got a liter taken out? I'm like, no, like a liter, like fucking a bottle of soda. And like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then also like, yeah, not to say I was bloated, which I was, but my abdominal was holding 16 pounds of liquid. Telling people so that they're not just thinking like 4 days in the hospital for some bloating. What a bitch. And I normally don't post things like that on Facebook, but my awesome man Dot texted me. I think it was Dot, and she said, your dad told me you have kidney failure, and I go, gee. So I posted on Facebook going like, I want everyone to hear from me first. They have the facts. I'm okay, pretty much. It's this, and this. We're waiting on stuff. Thanks, for the love and support.
Well, Dad thought you had a parasite too. He was trying to tell you had a parasite.
He's been trying to push parasites off on me since my colon. Yeah. I think he told me to ask my colon. Go a little deeper. See if there's any parasites up there. It's been watching that monster inside to kill you.
You could be so lucky as to just have a parasite.
Yeah, seriously. But got released and silver. Not even silver lining. Well, it is, but like I'm using this as I'm gonna lose weight, not drinking. I'm already feeling so much better.
Yeah, you're gonna be a new man.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna take a learning curve. I'm getting some hobbies.
Eating better.
It is crazy. As sitting here as a large man, people are gonna go, "What is he talking?" I forgot how good food is. Simple thing is eating a cheese stick, letting it get a little warm to get all the flavor out of it. Fucking waking up going, holy shit, toast is awesome.
Well, dude, you were dying for the last couple months.
I didn't, looking back at how much hair was in that brush.
So I'm saying you're lucky.
There was a lot of things, like, I sent my mom the picture of the pee, and she was, like, mad at me because I was like, I think I cleaned some of it off the toilet, but I thought it was poop. And she was like, if you ever see brown pee that color, like, go to the fucking hospital. Like, she was, like, mad at me.
You could have never imagined.
Yeah.
And coming from someone who I love drinking water, like, most of my life, the first thing I do is wake up and want to drink a bunch of cold water.
That's like 90% of people.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I know.
You've got to be
I couldn't.
aware of your pee colors and stuff now.
I think you just didn't want to go to the hospital because you knew it was serious.
A little bit of that, but yes, I will say a little bit of that. But also, I've been going to the doctors.
Yeah,
like
we were on track
I've been going to
Yeah.
my follow-ups. We've been trying to get the earliest appointment. I've been doing what they told me to do, and even the thing I couldn't do, I attempted. Like, so you know,
You could never imagine that your liver wasn't working.
no, I thought this was gallbladder, and I'm like, okay, so if I'm just not eating, but I'm still I still not feeling good or whatever. So it was a little bit.
That just proves you haven't been feeling good for like a year.
Yeah. When things sneak up slowly, you lose your energy
If
or
you
whatever.
can't eat without being nauseous, if you're not getting out of bed and you're not like alarmed, that means shit has been fucked up. But this isn't like a fork in the road. It's like a sharp turn.
Well,
It's a blessing.
like we said, I don't have the option of.
Fucking around.
I was a heavy drinker. Don't get me wrong, but like, I'll die. There's no relapsing.
Yeah.
Which I learned that I don't. I won't need it. Some things are going to change. I might learn. Like
A lot of things are going to change.
yeah,
It
one day
takes
at a time.
But nothing's going to get worse.
Yeah.
As a account of this happening, nothing's going to be worse, except for maybe some swelling.
Yes, the swelling thing, compression socks. We're going the whole 9 yards with it. And it's. I usually, like when I started working out at the beginning of the year, I was like, I'm gonna take it nice and slow, or whatnot. Which I am with like our walkings or whatever. But like, no, I'm no holds barred right now, like, of health.
Yeah.
As far as obviously not drinking, but I will eat a yogurt and then take my medicine first thing in the morning. Rachel has to. We should videotape Rachel putting my compression socks on. Thank you so much. Rachel's been breaking her nails, literally, getting these compression socks on, but it helps, and we're doing what I got to do. So I'm around longer.
Yeah. Welcome to the team. No drinking.
Yeah.
This is the truth is, you're lucky it happened now, and not 20 years from now, you die.
That's the one thing I can say I'm a little angry about is how so early? How so there's people out there that drink from the second they wake up to the second they go to bed for 60 years, and then, I guess those are the ones that just go quick and never try to do anything.
Yeah.
Well, and they said they don't know. It could be a lot of things.
Yeah, no, it has to be.
No, it definitely is a lot of things, but the remedy is the same.
Yeah, luckily the remedy's
Simple.
Luckily, yeah, I got a pretty easy strategy.
You're lucky you're alive, and we're happy you're alive, dude.
Yeah, you'll be all right, everybody.
You will be all right.
Fight through that. If you think something's wrong, fight through that hospital line. I literally felt like Mortal Kombat. I was like, the boss has got to be next. When did I fight the guy with 4 arms? Or when does this? There's
Goro. That's Goro.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way there's more people to fight before then.
Yeah. And people, when you're in the hospital, tell your loved ones how seriously ill you are. Don't beat around the bush. Okay?
I will say, I thought that this would get you. I didn't want to tell you over the phone. When I texted you, I'm in the hospital. I think it's pretty serious. I don't want to tell you over the phone. I'll tell you in person. I thought that was going to be like, oh shit, I probably
I
should
would
get to
be
the hospital.
so nosy and curious at that point. I would have ran to the hospital to find out.
You sent me that same exact text message. I'll show it to you when you got back from your one test that you couldn't finish. You said, I'll tell you about it later.
Well, that was
because of the podcast.
that was I'll tell you about it later, not I want to tell you in person.
Okay. Well,
Not No, Grudge, you were there. You thank God, you let the dogs out so Rachel could be there, and you were there every night afterwards hanging out.
I'm actually kind of glad you didn't tell me, though, because I would have been freaking out. The next day, like, at least I knew you were not going to die. I asked you before I got there, didn't I ask you on the phone, like, well, you're not going to die, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And it took you a second before you answered, and I was like, oh, shit.
But, yeah, thank you, modern medicine. We've also been doing something when Rachel gives me my medicine in the morning, because we're trying to stay on a schedule. I'm still sleeping till 2, but I go to bed at like 1, or sometimes I go to bed with you now because I need you to help take my socks off.
Man.
I will, and I'm not afraid to admit it. And this is a pledge to my wife of how awesome she is. She's been lotioning basically my whole body. It's crazy how much my fucking skin has soaked up lotion.
Yeah, your skin looked crazy when I got to the hospital.
Now that my liver is not, or is, I don't know, you want to call it stable, whatever it is, my skin's clearing up.
Out of crisis mode.
Yeah, at night she does my back, and like literally it's like the first night she swiped and it looked like it just immediately went away.
If he gets up before noon, you should lotion up his pecker.
We do the front of me in the morning.
Not including that.
Not the pecker.
I was gonna say.
I was like, what are you trying to hit at
my,
here?
my stomach, because what's crazy, you know what I
You need to lotion your own stomach, though.
I can. Yes, I can. Well, it's part of the. I'm taking care of myself. Okay, give me a little something.
Sounds like Rachel's taking care of you.
I know. I'm saying.
Don't lotion. You can lotion yourself. She can lotion your back.
I can't lotion my back.
Okay, you guys, it's your marriage.
I can't lotion my. Listen, it's my reward for taking care, for not fighting back and being in a good mood.
You and your rewards, bro. You're such a bitch.
You're just jealous.
Lotion my belly.
You're just jealous.
Put my socks on.
She has to put the socks on.
Okay.
That's one. Once I get there, we'll fucking have a graduation party if I can ever
get a banner. We'll get a
hopefully
banner.
I don't have to wear compression socks that long.
One day at a time, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the story of why we've been gone so long. Also, that first shower when you get home.
Yeah, you got to get that hospital stink off.
And Rachel had the clean sheets where she puts a little bit of bleach in there because she knows I love the smell of it. That fucking sleep, I wouldn't trade for the world. Yeah. That if you could bottle that and sell that, it would immediately become illegal because of how good it is.
Yeah. It's gonna take you. You're every week. You're gonna be like, wow, I'm feeling better.
So anyone out there thinking there's a little something, you never know until push comes to shove. Like I didn't realize how bad it was until I started feeling better.
Well, even your doctors didn't know what was going on.
And not even just what's going on, but realizing the steps shouldn't kick my ass the way it was.
Yeah, when things come on slow, you don't notice as
I think
much.
in the back of your head you knew.
Not really, dude. Like in the back of my head, I go, I'm sleeping because I'm a little depressed because I just want to get I want to get to the doctor's appointments. Mm-hmm. I'll give you that. And then I'm going, I'm not feeling great and having energy because I'm not eating because I'm nauseous. Oh, that's gallbladder. And that's an easy remedy. Like they can just remove that and then you're good to go.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a balance of things. Did I want to go to the ER? No. Thank you, that doctor that told Bev. That was the catalyst that let's go get this fucking thing out of me.
For real.
Let's get this monster out of me. But people out there, go take care of yourselves.
Stick with us. We are back.
We are back.
Figuring out the exact schedule.
Yes.
But we're back.
Yeah.
We don't have to, base around me like, am I going to throw up on the mic and stuff now. Now, if anything, it's to, we were supposed to record the last 2 days, but.
My teeth broke.
That's okay, though. But that's
24-hour service. So that's pretty good turnaround for broken teeth.
That is good. You got a good dentist. You had to wake up earlier than you wanted to today, but that
8:30 in the morning, they called me to come pick the shit up.
Glad. I'm surprised you actually picked up.
Well, I was waiting for the call, so I had it next to the bed. Take care of your teeth, people.
Do you not keep your phone next to the bed all the time?
Not always, no.
I feel like you should.
90% of the calls I get are fucking bullshit.
Or it could be me being, hey, my liver farted.
Yeah, for real. Come back next week.
Come back next week if you have any comments, questions, concerns. If you have liquid in your stomach, tell us about it. I think that'll be about do it. Adventures of Non-Dead Gene. You will be all right. If I'm all right after this, you be all right.
Yeah, for real.
I am Gene Labordi. This is Steven Labordi. Rachel Labordi doing all the hard work. Go ahead, Rachel. You can show the pictures for the people. They deserve it after the long break.
Yeah, if they stuck around this long, I will put the pictures up right now so they can see them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Thanks, everybody. Love you. And we're going to eat chicken parm, and I'm excited because I actually want to eat.